Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. I'm coming back with you for my weekly recap from the trades I've taken in my SureTrader account. And also, I'm going to update you on how I finished out July. I finally got all of those trades downloaded from July. Last week, I think Profitly was having issues, and it was taking 2 or 3 days for my trades to show up. And even though they were on iBoss and everything cleared, um, when I tried to download them to Profitly, they weren't showing up, for another 2, sometimes 3 days. So I think I got that squared away. We're going to look at that. Plus a little quick rant that I have for you, but I'm always going to have 1 or 2 of those. But first, I want to let you know we are starting our swing trading class this week. Our new class is coming up. And the way it works, we have a live class on Thursday. We have a watch list build session on Sundays, where you get to see me build my watch list for the week, and I'll tell you exactly what I'm looking for entry. And it's based on the strategies that I teach each week. The watch list session and the classes are recorded, and you have lifetime access to the classes, meaning those that took the class that ended Thursday, we're starting over again with new classes on this Thursday. They could come in and take the class over again, or take the course over again. You can take it as many times as you want. Each class is probably going to be different, because I have a PowerPoint, but it's not really scripted. Whatever happened that week, I'll integrate into the class. So it's always, even though the fundamental information will probably be the same, the other information that kind of encompasses what we do in class is going to be different, from class to class. So there are people that like to just come in and take it over and over and over again, or watch the recordings of the new classes. And I'm also looking at putting together a swing trading community to where we can meet, or come in 3 times a day or so to get updates on what's going on. Now, I do not believe in alert services. I do not have an alert service for either day trading or swing trading, because I believe that creates dependency. And I'm not looking to create dependence. I'm looking to help people grow. This is not the typical subscription model where, I look to try to continue people coming back. If you come back, it's because you enjoy the company, you enjoy the community, and you want to help others out who's going through the same thing you just went through. That's what's important to me. So you're not going to get emails or texts or anything like that. I do announce my trades in chat. And when I get this other room up, it's just going to be you being able to keep up with the trades I'm taking. Like I said, it's not an alert service, so it's not going to be a real-time alert. You're already going to know from the strategy session what I'm watching. And I don't build watch lists throughout the week. For me, I just do it on Sundays. Now, if you are just solely focused on swing trading, then you're probably going to want to build a watch list every day if you don't have any trades on. But typically for me, by Monday, no later than Tuesday, I'm in a trade, and I'm not looking to do anything else but manage that trade. And that's all I'm looking to do. For example, let's take a look at this is a trade I took this week. We talked about this Sunday, and I said this is the trade that I want. This is the stock that I'm looking for. When we saw this last Sunday, we were basing here, or appearing to base, on this 200. So we had a nice sell-off from earnings. We got into oversold territory, and I'm looking for this to, give me the move up. So I was about a point late because I was, doing something else, and I didn't have this chart up. And by the time I went to look at it, we had, gained a point. We opened above the previous day's close. We had gained a point. It had already triggered an entry. But, in swing trading, it's fine to be a little bit late. It's not that big of a deal in swing trading as it is in day trading. So the next day, I hit my first target. And then I think my first target was 187.50. I got in at 184.50, and I ended up getting it at 187.78. So I, did good on it. My second target was 192, so I got it. My third target, or I had a dilemma here. I didn't know whether this should be my final target or this should be my final target. 9 times out of 10, the 20 moving average is below the 90, and that's going to be my ultimate target. But I took a little bit off here when we hit the 90, and we almost got this Friday. I was going to close it out Friday regardless, but we almost got this. And then when it started selling back off and we got below the previous day's high, I went ahead and clicked it. You can't really see the arrow. It's just a little point right here. That's when I took it off. And, this is a stock that we identified Sunday. And this was the only stock I swung. It only takes one a week. And, made a killing on this. And I can find stocks like this, every week. Now, yeah, there's some weeks where the market's terrible. There was a week in July, I think, I didn't really get a good trade off because the market was bad. But all the other weeks, they were solid. And we were able to make some money. But that's just an example of this was an example of how I swing trade. And if you're day trading and swing trading, this is how you can do it. Or if you want to exclusively swing trade, then you can always have, 2 or 3 positions going at one time. Just depends on your buying power and, what you're able to do. But if you're trying to grow your account, finding one solid hit a week is going to do wonders for you. Alright, so just wanted to remind you of that. Now, my quick rant is on, somebody asked me, why I don't show broker statements. Okay, and this is an example of why I feel transparency is key. And you seeing every trade every day versus me coming back saying, okay, this is what I made this week. Here, I could give you a list of trades that I so-called took and just show you, okay, my account grew X amount of dollars, or my account grew X amount of dollars. And you never saw the trades I took. I only told you I took them. How does that help you? It doesn't. So I like to model success. Because as far as I'm concerned, and the way that I want you to judge me is that I'm only as good as my last trade. If my last trade was garbage, then I'm garbage. until I can, get my head screwed on straight. Now, if I got in a trade and I got stopped out because it just didn't work, then hey, that's no big deal. I'm good with that, because that's what I did what I was supposed to do. But if I took risk and I got in a trade that I normally don't get in and I get chopped out, then that's garbage, because I shouldn't have been in the trade to start with. So I'm only as good as my last trade. And that's, how I want you guys to judge me. Not what I've done in the past, because that's the past. It's what am I doing now? And what can you get from me based on what I'm doing now? And that's why I like that I think this industry is starting to clean itself up. Consumers are getting a lot smarter. They're understanding that transparency is key, and having a success model is going to be key. Not just listening to what somebody said or trying to follow somebody's alerts. Because like I said, an alert service, I just don't believe in them. It's a easy way to lose money, because you're never embracing a strategy. You're always looking for somebody to alert you when to get in, when to take profit, when to get out. That should be done by you. That's something that you have to set for yourself and then manage it. And if it matches somebody, great. But it should be you, for what you feel and what you see. And if you continue to be dependent on alerts, then you're never going to be successful. You're never going to make money. And I just don't believe in them. I believe in teaching. This is my passion. This is what I have done for years and years and years and years, until I came over into trading. And I honestly missed it. And I like teaching, and that's what I like to do. So if I can combine both, hey, great. But then the reason why I don't just show statements is because I can make the statement say whatever the hell I want it to say. I cut this. If you have a TD Ameritrade account, you can verify that this is exactly what you see when you log into your account. Okay, the exact same thing. I just cut the screen and pasted it here. Gives you what your balances are. I could go in and I could bring up my trades list and all of that stuff. I can make it say whatever I want it to say. Okay, I don't have $113,000 in there. I got $3.05. Okay, so everybody's showing you these statements. It's too easy to fake. And people are learning that. They're knowing that now. If you have a computer, you can do whatever you want it to do. If you have enough money, you can get somebody to create your own simulator and make it do whatever you want it to do. It's too easy. So transparency is going to be more and more paramount. And that's why I show my screen. That's why I show you my account number, so you know that it's a live account. You can verify it. I mean, I'm telling you, it's getting bad when a key player in the industry like SureTrader comes out and practically calls out another room, another service. Something's, things are starting to turn. And I think, we in the industry that's providing education, we're going to have to become more and more transparent. And I think it's a good thing, because it wasn't until I found some transparency that I was able to get to where I am and kind of turn the corner and understand where I was missing the boat. So, this is, something that's bothered me for a long time. And I'm sure if you've been with me for a while, I've made mention of it. But that's kind of my rant for today. I just wanted to, address that because I had a couple people, and a lot of these rants, they come from me getting the same question throughout the week. And, showing broker statements doesn't make much sense if you show every trade, every entry and exit. That's what's key, I believe. All right, so let's move on and let's take a look at look at my stats for July, and then we'll look at my stats from this past week. All right, let's first take a look at my July stats. It was an okay month. It was very bad for me in terms of accuracy. You can see short trades, I was only 51% accurate. So, I had one more winning trade than I had losing trade. The long trades worked out pretty good, but overall 62% accuracy. And the only reason I was able to make money was my average winning trade is 1.38% higher than my average, well, not percent, but the ratio of my average win to average loss is 1.38. We try to get 2 to 1. That's kind of impossible. That would be perfect. But, when I do stuff like this and, I let this trade go a little bit longer than I really wanted to, my average loss should be around $100 all the time. And then I'll have some smaller, losses too, which should bring this, closer to $75, $80. But, letting things run a little bit longer, I didn't let it blow me up, but I let it run a little bit longer and end up losing $100 more on this trade than I wanted to. And, these are things that we run into as traders that we do. Sometimes we will, get outside of ourselves and we will make a mistake. And when I start feeling that, that's when I get up and take a walk. I don't think twice about getting up, taking a walk or riding a bike, whatever. But sometimes you have to do that because you have to really get your mind reset. Because if not, you're going to continue digging a hole for yourself that you just can't get out of. So, the one thing that I'm proud of is how well I managed a bad month and managed to come out of it with a couple of dollars. But this, for what I was trading with, there's just I should have had double this. But, it is what it is. I had a tough month. I had, a real tough week in there. And that's just the way it is. That's the way trading is. So just accept it and move on. So my weekly stats. Now this week had a pretty strong week. Even though I missed 2 solid home run trades. No reason I should have missed AAOI Friday because I was trading it. You can see I was trading this thing. And I ended up break even on it because I was trading through the chop. And I said pre-market when somebody asked me about it. I said it. I'm going to wait for the chop, this choppiness to get out early and then I'll get in. But I turned right around and traded this choppy mess. And, made a little bit, but ended up losing a little bit. So I ended up, just a couple of dollars. And then it made that huge move. And I was on the sidelines. I didn't chase it. I could have chased it. chasing would have worked in this case, but I didn't want to, start that bad habit. But pretty pleased with the way I turned around. My accuracy is a lot better. Still longs are better than shorts, but I guess this is a product of the market that we're in. So pretty pleased. My ratio of win to losses is still pretty bad, but I kept my average losing trade in check. I kept it in check. So 97.59 is a whole lot better. But my average, win to loss ratio is 1.35, which is not where I want it. Not where I want it. The average losing trade is going to be 74.47. This I would have liked to see in the $120 range. But I just trading small, and I kept a kind of a tight leash on my trades this week. Is kind of what hurt that. But I'll take it. If I could do this 4 weeks in a row, shit, I wouldn't complain at all. I would not complain at all. Especially when you're growing your account. I started with $3,000 at the beginning of the month. We wired out, started with $3,000, and to make $1,800 on $3,000 is I feel good, incredible, and you guys got to see it, right there in chat. Well, I take that back, because some of this was on the swing account, the small swing account too. But that's still very little. That's still a low account too. That's still below $3,000. So you can make money on a small account. You just have to be careful and don't overtrade. And like I said, when you feel yourself out of control, stop. Because if you don't, you're going to end up with 30, 40 tickets at the end of the day, which you add that up in commissions and fees. It's going to take a hell of a day for you in a small account to get over those fees and commissions. So got to make sure you don't overtrade. And that's one thing that I focus on every day, is not overtrading. Now, if you have a stock, let's say AAOI on Friday, and you were able to get multiple entries, and let's say you made $600-700 on it, then yeah, you can give back $150 in commissions, because you were making money. It was just a cost of you making money. But if at the end of the day you've only made $150 on your trades, and you traded 30 or 40 times, then you're going to be in the red. So we have to make sure we just don't overtrade. Alright, but that's my week. I'm looking to continue next week with a strong week. See if we can have a good, strong August. And that's going to be setting us up, for the end of this year. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, here's where you can reach me. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'll probably have a couple more here before long. I am on StockTwits. I just don't have that on here. But shouldn't have any excuse not to be able to find me. So any questions, comments, concerns, you can hit me up. Alright. So you guys have a great rest of the weekend, and I will catch you tomorrow morning.